Hey everyone, I'm Rather Incoherent, back with Operation Platinum View. It's a basic sabotage alien facility, but as we've seen in our first 4 base assaults, there's a pretty good chance you get some sort of hidden mission type that will be difficult in and of itself. For instance, in the 4 facility assaults I've done, I've seen 2 bio-beast facilities and 4 bio-zerkers between them, along with numerous bio-facelesses, bio-assaults, bio-snakes, bio-bleeders, and lost. It's just been a hassle. Hopefully the coin lands on not bio-beasts this time, as it does appear to be a roughly 50% chance, at least at this force level, which is not a good time. Fun news! If you didn't watch the last episode, the Archon King's here. Well, he's not necessarily here, he's out and about. He could be here, he could be in the next mission. He could not show up for 5 missions, you never know. Thankfully, he has no armor. And hopefully, if we do encounter him, it will go better than last time, because the last time Ricard has to stock the infirmary. Because everyone came home wounded, but alive, thankfully. And I know this gun doesn't matter, but I should still put some attachment on it. We're gonna put superior wildcats and an advanced laser sight. Maybe he'll crit. Alright, no, that's meanie and bad play. Let's go find... Oh, you can't get a lightweight stock on bullpups because they don't have a stock. Fair enough. Well, in that case, I'll meme about critting then. As for the team, you should be well acquainted with this exact strategy. Double Infiltrator, Pioneer, Marksman, Marine, Mid-Range, Core, Tech Specialist to keep the sparks going, a Combat Engineer for Frost Legion, a slot flex, in this case just second Combat Engineer, because we have a bonded pair here between Jada Rabbit and Eclipse Crash, and another bonded pair between Blind Alpha and Missile Moth. Now, I do notice that I only have 1 Mimic Beacon on this team, and I would rather have at least 2 Mimic Beacons on this team, in light of how many I've been using in the last mission, at least. I feel a little bit sketchy with only the 1. I don't see a good swap for the 3rd Mimic Beacon, to be honest. There's an argument to give up on this, but I am not going to. Let's get into Operation Platinum View. And I can't imagine it really goes worse than the last mission, but we could always squad wipe, you know? Oh, and as we load in, if you'd like to hit the like and subscribe buttons, I'd really appreciate that. Alright, so we're going to take it a little bit slow off the start, because we need both of these infiltrators to heal each other as we move forward, or heal themselves. It doesn't really matter how it shakes out, they just need to be healing as we start this. But they've already taken some substantial damage. I believe they heal for 4 or 5 right now, which is, you know, plenty enough for me. 4, unfortunately, but still, good enough. Even though it's only a wound of 2, I've got unlimited time. There's no reason I shouldn't heal Synth Soldier as well. And Fire Giant can go ahead and stay at partial damage. Once we're healing for 1, it feels wasteful. I'm going to take the grapple immediately on my Marine, because no one else can actually reach this high ground. And I want to get better vision. Also, I should check the map. I was talking about healing. Are we in the corner? Yes, we're in the corner. Good. Move forward to here. And with no eyes, move forward to here. Nothing so far. Alarming, but good. Which means everyone can sprint forward, really. And with everyone sprinted forward, we see if anything wanders in division. Hopefully it's not a Biozerker pod, and I don't start getting random pops about people bleeding over here. Just sort of jaded after the number of bio facilities I've assaulted recently. Vision appears to be a bit weird on this map, as it has several times in the past. I think that's full cover. I can't quite tell. There's definitely stuff over there. Muton Infector, Sectoid Mindbender. I'm gonna fall back to here and try to get better view on it around this cover, because I do want to see if that's coming towards me or not. We have a Sectoid Mindbender, a Viper, a Muton Commando. Nothing too crazy. The Marine's okay where they are. I would want the Sniper braced here, I think, if we're fighting in this direction. There's an argument they could have been better where they previously were, but they're not using an actual anti-material rifle, they're using a vector rifle. So I gotta be careful with how far back I leave them. These units will not be getting high ground advantages in the fight, they'll be moving forward and taking shots, unfortunately. They're definitely better from high ground, but there's just not enough room on the high ground, it feels like. They can get all the way forward on Blind Alpha and just be in this, looking around. Mostly because it's funny. Yeah, I can get even closer. Oh, that wasn't actually safe. That was real bad. I don't know. A unit here would not have vision to flank. Okay, we're good. The cactus makes it safe. Barely. Just Overwatch. You probably want to be further up as well. May as well move to here. And that's our last move of the turn. They're coming towards us. They're in for a world of pain. They're moving away, we'll probably just bypass them entirely, but they are not. There's a Bio Viper and a Muton Infector as the 2 that I wasn't seeing clearly before. Now, if we can get onto this cactus safely and use a flamethrower, that is 100% how we open. Would you look at that? It is absolutely nefarious. So, do I see anything else? No? That's terrible news for you folks. Oh, that is not what they wanted to hear. Even a turret might have been enough to make me reconsider this. Anyway, Jade Rabbit is a captain, which means that they have phosphorus, and that hits everything and shreds it all, and it's just absolutely awful for them. Oh, and the Bio Viper burst, causing everyone to take damage, and the Muton's panicking, at least one of them is, on account of the Rage Suit, which is literally the skin of his companions. So that's all good for us. There's no one to Skulljack, which is sad, but not surprising. I can move up to here and take a shot on the Viper, and Blind Alpha is definitely not going to be doing anything else useful, so I'm happy to do it on him. Oh, I guess he was dead to burning, though, wasn't he? I was just picking up the loot preemptive plan. The only thing you see is the Muton Infector. Perhaps not the most useful position to be in, then. Kind of surprised that's all you see. You would think you would be able to see it from here, but I guess not. I'm going to take a blue move here to finish the Mindbender and get the Muton Commando down into killable range. Are we getting loot from this mission? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's Plant X4 and evac. Oh, 1 second. My significant other has come down sick with something, and they're driving home from work now early. I'm going to go run to the store and get them some things. I'll be back to this, you know, in the future when I don't remember what's going on. I suppose I should let the current actor resolve whatever I was doing, Bombard Protocol, and then after this I'm going to save, and I will be back in the future to finish this episode. Alright, I'm back, possibly not for long, but let's see if we can't wrap this mission up, or at least make some progress. Apparently, I can see a Pathfinder and a Frostbite Veteran over there. Let's try not to think about that. We have our Spark Infiltrator, our Combat Engineer, our Marine, our Marksman, and our Pioneer left, with half an action left on the other Infiltrator. Yeah, I just used Bombard Protocol over here to kill a Sectoid and open up the cover. Taking a 67 here feels pretty bad. It seems like this should never pull. So I can make this move and kill the Bio Viper with Missile Moth a lot of the time. Alright, well, okay, first there's another pod there. Second of all, there's a heavy turret I'm now in vision of, I think. No, I'm not envisioning the turret, it's just something to be aware of. Also, only 78. And he's still up. At least he got the damage, though. That is appreciated. I'm legitimately just going to run forward on the left side, expecting all of this to run in. The Marines only got eyes for the Muton, so I'll take the shot here and Overwatch afterwards. You know, 80% to kill. Or just do nothing, that's cool too. My current position, I have eyes on nothing. Seems like a good time to move forward. Got a 100 on the Snake, 94 on the Muton. Do I still have a 100 of the pistol? I do, let's avoid wasting the bullet then.
I got it, right?
Oh wait, you would have Raptors perched. I'm going to bet it's only while braced, it's not the primary weapon, so no misplay there. Good. Going to move forward on my other Spark and see if I can't get a kill in the open on this Muton, because someone has to do it. And we're starting to run out of options here. Good. I was starting to think I'm going to have to use Burning Rush on the Pioneer to get this done. Just going to move out like this, give more cover to my Pioneer, or my Combat Engineer rather. Get closer to the inevitable fight that we're about to have to deal with. Sun Soldier's not in vision of that turret, is he? Because that would be quite bad if he was. Okay, so we have a Chosen this time. Whose territory are we in? The Assassin. Well, based on that hilarious mission I had not too long ago, where the Assassin literally got soloed by the Templar, the Reaper, and a Traitor unit, I feel a little bit less fear than I used to. Admittedly, it was a very good team comp against her, and she had no supporting units, but still, it's hilarious that it happened at all. So the incredibly awkward thing here is pushing forward will see through the roof, or through the windows rather, get this pod, and there's another pod right there. I shouldn't have any of this information, but I do have it. And now that I do have it, I don't know what to do with it. I could sneak around on the right side. If that's the plan, it would start... That was Missile Moth and not the Pioneer. Well, good. I'm glad we didn't pull. First things first. Oh, you're not even in the right tile. That's deeply awkward.
Servos engaged.
No eyes. Take it out. Okay, good. I don't have to go through any extra trouble to get that killed. I think, based on what I've seen so far, I am comfortable running like this.
I'm on it.
Cool, glad to hear it. I would love to have a scout right about now, but that's obviously not going to happen. Yeah, I may as well just go to here. Bit worried about moving in that direction, which means I'm gonna have a hard time getting these sparks up in general, but here we are. I guess they can go straight to the roof, though, unlike this character. That shouldn't be pulling. You can overwatch. We're not moving you forward. That would be crazy.
I'm on it. Here I come.
Got someone there. We may as well have blind alpha there as well.
Come get some.
And you just need to be catching up. Best you can do is get on this full cover. So this is an awkward approach, to be sure, but it is an approach. If I get engaged at any point along this, I feel relatively okay. Not the best, but it's not like god-awful to get pulls from there. Well, that's what we're doing, so hopefully it's true and I'm not just making myself feel better. An Honor Guard, a Purifier, Veteran Purifier that is, Advanced Priest, and Heavy Lancer. That's the fourth one. Positions aren't too bad. Oh, that's the Assassin. Well, Moth, you're fine. You're a combat engineer. Anyone else would have been far worse off than you were. Anyway, I would like my counter-strike now. Thank you. No.
We've spotted the Chosen. Get ready to fight.
And then she left into the acid.
The elders possess many gifts.
So, like, I do have Bombard Protocol to blow up your cover and deal damage to you. We sort of have other priorities right now is the issue. First things first, let's just pick this guy up.
Don't move. You'll be all right.
Everything's spinning.
Dealing with this without getting myself in trouble through other pods sounds very hard, like almost impossible. But let's give it a shot. First things first, we need to launch a rocket. I have to choose Purifier or Stun Lancer. The Stun Lancer is closer. Now the second rocket, maybe that one goes to the Purifier. Good start. Second rocket. Yeah, that can work on the Priest, the Purifier, kill the cover. Very good start, just cleared the cover of this entire pod. And it seems like the thing to do now is to shoot something that somebody else isn't going to handle. You have armor and a lot of health. It's going to take 2 shots to bring you down. Never mind.
What value do you place on the lives of your enemy?
I'm gonna start running out this way. That pulled. No, it saw the objective, thank God. You scared the shit out of me, Bradford. I can Bombard Protocol any one of them or the Assassin, it's just not too big of a deal. Just be able to move forward and take a shot on blind alpha, I imagine. If I aim on the... Really, it's a 60 at best. I was expecting better, I'm gonna be honest.
How many's that now?
See, Jaded Rabbit really can't participate with the way I've moved them this turn is the problem. Because if I go up top, that pod... Well, no, I can scan for that pod, and I can see they're not up top. Which does mean that all he's going to be doing is just throwing a grenade at a turret, but that's still something relevant. Oh yes, the turret is on Overwatch presently. That is important information that I had forgotten. Thankfully, lucky, and better lucky than good, as everyone knows. And that should be able to open new sightlines in the future, but more importantly, just kill the turret and stop worrying about it on everyone else. Sadly, I'm never getting eyes here either. Just actually a pretty terrible position, it turned out. Okay. You. Open this line of sight, please. Hi, Assassin. I have bad news. So I have figured out the real-life programming glitch that is when I use Bombardment Protocol, I get pulled away from this mission. Interesting. Who was I bombarding? The Assassin. Right, yes. Because it turns out that using Overdrive to punch the Assassin repeatedly sounds like a very quick and easy solution to the problem. Because at this point, Fiber Giant just like apply directly to the enemy problem, right? It doesn't matter how much health they have, apply punch. Yeah, that's a lot.
Armor deflection observed.
Is your fear so great you must rely on these soulless constructs?
You need to swallow your pride, Assassin. This is the sort of soulless construct you can rely on.
Enemy armor intact.
Shockingly, though, she is still alive.
Proceeding to target.
I think I just run forward here. If I'm not pulling on Missile Moth, I don't know if I can risk that. I just run forward to here. I can't risk pulling on Missile Moth here. And we're in a situation where the only play really is to mimic beacon, which I don't like, but here we are. That requires us to kill the Chosen first, because the Chosen does not respect mimic beacons. We're at 74 here. I can grapple here, which might have a shot, and if not, I can go down and get the shot at point blank, because I have 2 actions left. Not how I expected to be using this, but we're going to have to blue move bug around to avoid the fire, but it's fine. We've got this. I'm gonna need you to go back home, Assassin.
I definitely got that.
At one time, it would have been unthinkable that I might ever fall.
Oh, I still don't have control, though. I need to sit here and listen to her speech.
It appears you have bested me once again.
Great job, Commander.
All right.
There's no trace of that Chosen left. I've got a feeling
We have you.
haven't seen the
We have
last
you.
of 'em. Still,
That's
at
it.
least we ruined
The
that
only
plan
option is
for
Mimic
today.
Beacon, because there is no way for one character to deal with all of this. It was probably better to use a teamwork, unless the teamwork was on Missile Moth. I think he's bonded with Jade, but that doesn't actually help either. So that'll be it for this turn. Unfortunate to be forced into Mimic Beacon here, but it's just an awkward pull. I was incorrect about being able to manage it. It didn't, it might be more manageable if the Assassin hadn't, you know, sprinted behind us, which is kind of terrifying.
Not sure I can make it.
So unfortunately, the Purifier broke line of sight with the Mimic Beacon, allowing it to shoot someone else. Good strat. He's also underneath a 2nd level, so I can't shoot him. I'm going to activate Burning Rush on Fiber Giant and walk up to this man with the additional movement AP, at which point I will apply Kinetic Strike directly to the problem. Oh, I can't hit the rock. I wanted to hit the rock as well, but I'll have to settle for just killing the guy. It is so violent. Anyway, we get an advanced bipod speed, always crystals and supplies. Pretty good loot. I'm willing to move in. I don't think it'll pull, and if it does, we're not in the worst scenario to deal with it. Move here on Sense Soldier for an easy solution to the Purifier. Probably won't pull. It did not. I'm guessing you're still in full cover then, right? Yeah. Go. I'm glad to see we landed a 2 out of 3, otherwise I have to swing around and take flanks on people I don't trust. Going to reload and Overwatch on Alpha. Just going to sprint back on Umbral Assault. Up here, I'm going to Overwatch. I'm not going to move a muscle. On Eclipse, I'm going to move and brace. I don't think I'll be fighting from here, but on the slim chance that I have to, I'll take it. Run and gun action available. You need to calm down. Carbon Milo takes a position up top. Overwatches as well in case they come running up here. Missile Moth. Just gonna walk forward a tiny bit and reload. Can't expect them to land an Overwatch while dazed and disoriented. May as well Overwatch, I guess. I probably should have reloaded, all things told. It's interesting that you pulled without moving. Oh, I see. The 4 of you are over there, but the officer is here, and that's how you pulled. Very cool. Elite Pathfinder, Advanced Pathfinder, Officer, Mech Veteran. If they all want to come on the roof, it's going to go very badly for them. I will quickly reintroduce them to the ground floor. Yeah, that's the plan. Alright, good luck. Time to check if they have Covering Fire, by the way. I think it would have popped up if they did. I think Covering Fire actually does have a graphical display, or at least it's supposed to. Yeah, you guys don't have abilities. You're just piles of armor and mobility with guns, which, to be honest, I kind of dig. I appear to have both the Gauntlet Rocket and the Heavy Weapon Rocket, which is very confusing. Gotta be honest. Kind of want the Pioneer to just run up here. It's not really going to be doing anything if he runs up here, so I'm going to take the Supernova to deal damage to the Spark, but I mainly just need to pull this Overwatch. Very bad Overwatch. It turns out I didn't need to do anything. Anyway, 7 ablative health gone, and I don't have Fiber Giant for the rest of the fight, realistically, but I shouldn't need him either. Now, having done this, I can pop over here and flamethrow the lot of them, I believe.
Moving to position.
I am flankable with the officer, and that's a slight concern, but also, I think they'll all be dead at the end of the turn, I'm gonna be honest. That's the spark dealt with. Now we just need to deal with these two Pathfinders who have a bit of health left. No bombard, but yes to overdrive. That makes it fairly straightforward. We overdrive. Are you good enough to overclock? I think it would have said so right there, so you'll have normal aim, sadly. But we can move forward via kinetic strike. And now we won't be giving cover to them, but it's kind of unavoidable on this one, unfortunately. No matter where I go, I'm either putting him in cover relative to me, putting that one in cover relative to me, putting this one in cover on me, putting that one in cover on me. I think, oh, you have less defense. Oh, I shouldn't have been positioned there. Yeah, I could have moved here. There was an answer to the puzzle. I'm just bad at the game. Anyway, what if we just landed the shots anyway? What if it's a 46? No, let's not go for that. Hey, Blind Alpha, you're fast. You're like not that fast though, right? Oh wait, Skulljack, baby. Wait, no. Can I see the officer on the ground? I need eyes on the officer to know if I can. Look, Mr. Marine, we both know you're not getting anywhere relevant this turn. Go find that officer for me. Now, that got eyes on him. It's never happening. So I'm going for the intel. That's obviously what I'm supposed to do here. Let's get greedy. All right, we've landed the initial hits. Now for the roll, which is just 50-50 for intel or wounds. Hey, that a boy. Always happy when my tech specialists just feel like giving me meta resources instead of hurting themselves for no reason. Oh, we couldn't have attacked him because we lost vision of him somehow. It's a Plant X4 mission, so throwing an unlikely rocket is perfectly fine. Oh, hey, I found him. So let's just chuck this rocket then. We probably kill it with Sense Soldier or the marksman in the back, now that he's visible without high cover. Got cover facing him and a shot. Joke's on me, I do not. Sense Soldier, can you please solve this travesty? Can't get a high ground shot, but I mean, you are a spark after all. I really enjoyed that he couldn't walk through the wall, so he had to jump up into a hole in the wall onto the second floor to get around. Probably going to live, yeah. So somebody else has to do something else to finish it. Just reposition, like, out of line of sight somewhere that you don't get shot. Unload his gun. Just in case we somehow don't kill him. And then Overwatch in case he comes up the roof. Oh, a better move would be to just punch him to death, no matter where he goes. My sniper has no choice but to run forward. That's not true, they can Overwatch. So how's that go for you, officer? Poorly. That's what I was hoping to hear.
It's dead, as requested.
I really like Carbon Miles' voice pack. Typically, I just really like all the Spark voice packs. They've got a lot of sassy character to them. I enjoy them. Let's go plant some C4 and get out of here. Alright, so we're waiting a turn to get everyone out because, well, a couple of our people are quite slow. It's our first Andromeda of the campaign, and we missed it. He was just over there. Did you have friends? You had a Codex friend. Oh, I'm sorry to say that I don't think I'll be fighting you today. But it is good to see you, hi. That's our drop pod, stop that. Anyway, in light of the last time I stayed too late for no reason, I'm just gonna leave now. Everyone go home.
-15, status confirmed.
Alright, let's take a look for MVP, because I am curious who got it. Decent performance on Carbon Mile, that's what I expect out of a soldier doing well, unlike Missile Molotov who got slapped down by the assassin. Blind Alpha stealing MVP with the Skulljack, but again, if you Skulljack someone successfully and get intel, you did more than anyone else for the sake of the campaign. Umbral Assault getting very, very little done, Jaded Rabbit getting a lot of damage but missing all their shots and securing relatively few kills as a result. Eclipse Crash having the worst performance out of a marksman in quite some time, maybe the whole campaign. Like, unless somebody did literally nothing, you can't do worse than that. Fiber Giant doing a whole lot of work, but not really anything too crazy for what we've been seeing out of Fiber Giant lately with the Kinetic Strike module. And Sense Soldier having a better performance than Carbon Mile, but only about 20 more damage all things told. Coming back to base, no promotions, always hate to see it. Absolutely nothing gained other than some basic loot. Yeah, the 20 intel's nice though. 20 intel is definitely appreciated. And that might be our last actionable lead, but it's also, and this is a huge deal, the last functional alien facility. Odds are we can go to the end of the game without bothering to stop any more alien facilities. Because that was all of them. And this is irrelevant, right? This isn't... Yeah, that's loyalty among thieves. I don't even care. If anything, that's good, because it means the Warlock will finally get to max intel, and he will go through the effort of sending and attacking it to the Avenger, which unlocks the landed UFO missions, and I kind of want those. Those are just supply raids, but with less steps. And more rewards. They're great. Busy Skies is basically cheating, and I almost always want to run the sit rep because it's so nice. New assault mission. There is no reward here for me to care about. There's some Advent loot. I've never actually found Advent loot, to be honest. I think I'm just letting that through. As lame as that sounds. Yep, I'm gonna keep scanning at Skirmisher HQ.
Some of our people are a little
Napalm Blizzard makes it back with Narcissistic Hawk. What do we do this for? 15 XCOM AP. Nice. Another one finishes. We got 2 medkits. Woo! What do we actually get? Hacking +5 on Dead Titan. Okay, that's nice. And then we continued scanning at Skirmisher HQ. We finished Black Ice rounds. These are just blue screen rounds with bonuses. They apply a damage over tiny machines, and they prevent teleport and clone. Very, very good weapon. We're currently working on something else, right? Black Ice... yeah. We're currently working on the Black Ice Skulljack, so we continue scanning. And we unlock the Superior Bipod, which is not the superior upgrade I was looking for. I was really hoping for like a Superior Scope, Superior Extended Mag, or Advanced Speed Loader. Sorry, Superior Speed Loader. Bipod's alright. It's not particularly good. But we did get a promotion on Rowdy Ruffian, so it's not nothing. It's just damn close to nothing. How far off of Scilab are we? 4 days. Yeah, I know. I'm choosing not to do it. It's not a good mission. Loyalty Among Thieves has finished. Not too beat up about it. We have another one back. Revolver Ocelot's promoted. Major Steel Guardian was promoted. I believe this was actually just a... Yeah, it's just the promotion on Steel Guardian. That was the goal of the mission. And before I continue scanning, I'm going to go look at all the promotions we've gotten, because a lot of Covert Ops finished very recently. Steel Guardian is our first major for sappers, and this is honestly one of the weaker parts of the tree. I don't know how I feel about it. The major perks for sapper are just pick your flavor of preferred grenade, right? You have concentrated corrosives, which ruptures mechanical units when you use acid grenades, burnout, which has a chance to scatter or panic on organic units with incendiaries, and it looks like a 25% chance for panic, then a 75% for scatter, and it's like, that's not even that good. I'm probably not running incendiary grenades. A quick gas grenade stunning for one action just straight up is pretty interesting. But I mean, the ones that I'm actually using the most are easily concentrated corrosives, and at this point in the campaign, robots are easily the scariest thing, aside from, you know, Bio Berserkers, which I guess stunning Bio Berserkers would be pretty good, except for the fact they're immune to gas grenades because they're bio units, so, yeah. But Rowdy Ruffian, ignore their lack of limbs, they'll be back in the future. They're picking up Sentinel like medics always do, begrudgingly, at Sergeant. Revolver Ocelot making it to Sergeant, picking up EMP Shockwave so that his combat protocol is actually, you know, killing robots as opposed to just agitating them. And it looks like that's actually all the promotions I needed to give out right away, so let's get back to scanning at Skirmisher HQ like we always do. We are 3 days out from the Scilab, and the black market might be closing very soon. Let's go check out the Black Ice Skulljack and how to build these things. First thing, Proving Grounds finally on experimental ammo. And I agree with that. I'm going to throw in a couple more experimental ammos to make sure I don't mess up and forget about them. Don't really care about the gas bomb. Just take 2 more of these. That's all I really care about at the minute. Come over to build items. The Black Ice rounds are here. They cost a Black Ice encryption and 75 supplies, which is honestly cheaper than the blue screen rounds, provided you have the corpse. I guess the Black Ice Skulljack is listed under weapons, even though Skulljack is down here. Because I'm not seeing a Black Ice Skulljack in items. No, Black Ice Skulljack's not here either. Is it under armor? Is it continually built at the Proving Ground like a project, one at a time? Yes. Every time I want a Black Ice Skulljack, I had to make this project. Okay. Even though it says unlocks, it doesn't work that way. It's a little bit weird, but I mean, it's fine. Presumably it's strong if it's like this. I don't really find it too bothersome. I very rarely need the second Skulljack anyway, but it does weird me out. And next mission, I'll bring a text back and we'll talk about what those do by comparison, see what the UI says at the very least. And we'll continue scanning at Skirmisher HQ. Infiltration mission expiring. What was this? The raid supply convoy. I've got the units for it. Yeah, I guess I need to. I need to send this. And the optional slots will be sending Dread Mechanism, and I hate to do it, Carbon Mile. We can't afford to have both of them staying back. We're gonna have to make another reinforced frame because there's only one left. Let me make sure I can actually afford to do that. I can't imagine I can't, but I guess counterpoint, do I even want to do that coming up on tier 3? It's really not too severe a cost. I can afford to pay it, and the power is worth it. I don't think a second kinetic Shrite module is worth it though. I'll be taking a blue screen canister. So a normal Skulljack, you're looking at +1 damage, +25 hack, Skulljack, and Skull Mine. Coming down to our new Black Ice Skulljack, you can see the same stat, Skulljack, Skull Mine, but now we have the Black Ice Quarantine ability. And it really depends on how that ability works. That's the only difference. Is that a yellow move, a blue move, something that happens when you Skull Mine them? How that ability works determines largely whether or not I care about this item existing at all. Unsurprisingly, how the ability it gives works determines its value. And I'll go ahead and take a second Mimic Beacon on this team. And I think that marks the point where I build a 4th Mimic Beacon so that I can be sure to have 2 on any team going out. They're low on Faceless Corpses now, but I think it's worth. I'm going to be going with the same plan of 4 Plasma Grenades here. I think that's just actually pretty solid. The fear of seeing a bunch of bio units and having acid grenades is pretty rough, but since we're not going into a facility anymore, I think it's worth bringing the acid bomb. I backed out of that plan immediately. Alright, as we get out Operation Panty Bore, are you sure about that? Anyway, as we get out Operation Bore, very difficult mission, there's an awkward thing that happens where I'm intentionally sending them with worse gear because I can't afford to send them with all my best gear. They're not taking the Viper suit and the Rage suit to use it for 1 mission when I could do it on like 3 assaults at the same time. It's just wrong to send gear that would become mutually exclusive on an Infiltration. I can afford to send full tier 2, that's good at least. And I can still bring mag weapons, or sorry, Mimic Beacons, but maybe like my ammo types aren't exactly what I would choose. I'd rather use Dragon rounds here than my second to last AP rounds. I need 2 sets of AP rounds at least on the team going in. That's the big thing. The AP rounds really should be here. We really should have a Viper suit or a Rage suit, or even more than just the Exosuit, which by the way has, like, does the base game do this? Why is it not consistently forcing generation that has connected arms? I hate it. Anyway, this is the team for Operation Bore. Thanks to the multiple bonded pairs, we're getting 18 hours knocked off the duration, bringing it down to an 8-day, 18-hour infiltration. And with the Reaper, we hardly care about leaked operation. Let's go. Of course, something really important is going to happen before then. So I've been waiting on for a very long time to make sure there's nothing happening here that I actually care about. I'm pretty sure the answer is no. We looked at it a long time ago. But just in case, okay, cool. None of that matters. We are 24 hours out from the Psi Lab. Now, I didn't know until I went into the future to do some science how the Psi Lab worked. I knew that 35% of my soldiers would end up being psionics. I knew that Templars would all be psionics. I didn't know if you had to scan them, how long scanning took. Does it just tell you? Is it rolled when the character's created or when the Psi Lab is created? Or is it rolled... I thought it would be character creation. I thought that was how it worked. Like Psi Lab would reveal a hidden variable. Anyway, when I went into the future to test how the Psionic Reaper worked, whether or not I would need to do config edits to allow non-psyops to use it, and the answer is yes, and I don't want to, so I'm just not going to use it. I found out when I completed my Psi Lab that there were no medics who were Psions. I was heartbroken, because my whole plan, the reason I even have medics, is to make one of them a Psion on the A team. And of course, if I only have like 6, 7 medics, this is XCOM, baby, you can roll no Psions on your medics. Why am I mentioning this instead of keeping it a secret? Because it's randomly generated when the Psi Lab works. I was like, huh, that's really unfortunate. And then I went forward in time again on a second save, and I was like, okay, so this one got different people. So now I know that we roll psionics when the Psi Lab completes initially for all pre-existing soldiers, and then when you acquire a new soldier, if you have the Psi Lab, you'll roll immediately to see whether or not they have, quote-unquote, the gift. Yeah, really just 2 options for what can happen when the Psi Lab finishes. The first is that a medic who is not like a corporal, which I think is all the medics, I think all the medics are sergeant or higher. The first option is that a medic becomes a Psion, they become the AT medic, and I bond them to Iron Rhino. Everything according to plan, we're good. Second option, there are no medics that are Psiops. That would suck. If that's the case, then we go down a branching path. A combat engineer is joining the A-team as a Psion, because fucking surely one of the dozen of them is going to be a Psion. Now, ideally, we'll have a higher ranking combat engineer who's a Psion with no bond that can bond to Iron Rhino. If we're forced to pick like a sergeant to bond to Iron Rhino, I'll probably just go ahead and accept Iron Rhino does not have a bond mate on the A-team and bond them to someone else, and I'll take a bonded highest ranking combat engineer who is a Psion to make an A-team candidate who will never have their bond mate on Waterworld, but for most of the campaign, they'll be able to be together. Anyways, now that I've explained that we're about to roll, how many soldiers do I have? About 61? We're about to roll 61 dice, see how many come up heads on our 1 in 3 chance. Unless we get interrupted, in which case this will be very awkward. That's expiring, but double check this isn't related to the black market. It's not, that's what I thought. Continue. All right, let's go view the facility and roll some damn dice. Scilab training available. We open this immediately. This does not require power because it's built on the power coil. It does cost a good chunk of money and a good chunk of Illyrium. Now we can trade 2 Scions at a time. So like I was saying, there's no scanning. I just know now who has the gift. That's not very many people. Now it's possible somebody who is wounded or tired who cannot train right now has the gift. But that was a catastrophically low number of soldiers. I think they'll still have 0 in their Psi ability. What I'm looking to do, I guess let's just start at this beginning, right? Figure out where my oldest soldiers are, right here, and we'll click through and see who has the gift, like Sonic Serenade does. Big Large has the gift as well, really trying to get that A-team spot back. Missile Moth has the gift, so does Stubborn Sectoid, and Final Enigma, and Revolver Ocelot. Gothic Toaster, Black Cat, hey, there we go. Ooh, dodged a bullet, okay. So they're out for 14 hours, that's why they can't train right now, but they do have the gift. Very nice. So I can train at least 1 potential. I don't need to rotate you, you can't be a medic. Of course my Templar has the gift, it's unavoidable, he's already psionic. We just have the facility to train him with now. Brilliant Pegasus has the gift, not that he'll be getting trained in it. Same with Blast Dynamo. And none of those new soldiers we got from missions recently counted. So obviously I want Black Cat training in one of these tubes. The question is just who's training in the other one. I'm tempted to put in the Templar. Wait a second, quick check.
Hello.
Who's currently trying to bond with Iron Rhino? Is Black Cat on that list? I feel like I remember seeing Black Cat on there and thinking 1 in 3, baby. I feel like I recall that thought crossing through my mind. Iron Rhino, who do you like? Who are you crushing on right now? Black Cat's on the list. Hey, love to see it. Anyway, right now, I believe my Templar is very tired from wrecking the Lost. Is that correct? Shaken 10 days. Okay, so there's literally no point in waiting for the Templar. We can train someone else entirely in the time it takes for them to get back. You can train while tired. Good to know. You know, Big Large goes from like a pretty good unit to an exceptional unit and then become a Scion, right? I feel like having stasis is notably better. Wait, your partner Sonic Serenade? Who's also got the gift? Oh, they're Scion buddies. I have a Tech Specialist Sapper pair on the A-team currently. They want those spots, goddamn. I've got sprints. I don't have like heat grenades, which is kind of a big deal, but I do have sprint on this soldier. And I've already wasted AP on them. I don't think I'm planning on swapping them over, just on account of the fact that like, you don't have time to train everyone you want to be a Scion, there's only 2 slots. But in that first slot, as Big Large is currently tired, unless I really can't think of a reason I want someone other than Big Large to be my first Scion here. I'm gonna put them in the operation room. And then we'll continue scanning until I get the little notification Black Cat is no longer wounded. Hey, they're back, and we just finished a mission as they came back.
There were a few wounded during the latest Covert.
Oh, I got lucky. I thought I already had this card in play. At some point, someone panicked for exactly 1 turn. I thought I got lucky, but it's just the game being nice. Cool. And now that Black Cat is back, we can throw them in the tube. I'm wondering if I want to go to the black market and sell off all my corpses right now, because again, I don't know if I'm going to be given an option, like next month, will that dark event still be there and get a chance to stop it, like it was with the sharing information dark event? Or is it just going to go through? So I'm going to go to the black market and just sell everything I can in case it's about to close for good, which is a real non-zero possibility. I have 8 copies of Advanced Speed. I have so many copies of Superior Speed that I haven't used one. Also, I forgot to kit out that squad with PCSs. I wasn't going to give them the good ones, but I really should have given them some. I will sell 4 Advanced Speeds, though. I don't need them. And also, 4 data caches seems fair, too. That mostly covers the money troubles I was worried about for the rest of the game, I think. I never use basic suppressors because I have advanced suppressors on everyone who would ever want one, so I'll sell all of these. I'll sell 2 data pads. Got a bunch of shield bearer corpses that I seem like I don't need at all. I'll sell all of them. Hey, I hit that 10 muton corpses I needed. I did in fact eventually waste my 8 days. No surprise there. Okay, I'm comfortable with this. It's a super comfy, not at all superstitious number to sell on. Don't worry about that. And wait, we don't need to scan at Skirmisher HQ. What am I doing? It's just habitual to click on that. We're done. Psi is finished. I don't need to build faster anymore. Let's go make contact in Western US. I've done this. I looked at all of them. They all suck. Western US is branching out in a new direction. May as well go this direction if I'm going in a direction. I will get some amount of use out of this ability. Anyway, make contact.
Our actions have succeeded, and
The superior lightweight frame is nice. That's just flat plus 2 mobility, no ifs, ands, or buts. Mobility plus 1 on Mercury Hawk as well, pretty nice. And we keep making contact. Chosen Retribution. Monthly income decreased, and you'll give some of that info over to the Warlock. It doesn't seem to animate, but whatever, it's fine.
Our friends in the Resistance are paying a heavy price with the Chosen running.
Fine, let's go do it. It feels so nice when I load into one of these missions, and I don't recognize their names. Like, oh, thank God, they're trash. I don't have to stress about this one. All right, things look bad for Bio Banshee. Very bad. Oh, she's definitely dead. You're not getting away with Bitter Frost. Not that you're alive at the end of the turn anyway. Impressively low damage. You're still dead, though. I don't think I have to turn your color different on the thumbnail, because I don't think you ever made it into a mission. There's no thumbnail to change your color on. Die running this Overwatch, please, so that someone else may live.
We've only got one more operative on the ground. We need to get him out of there.
Anyway, no one important died today. I guess I have to put her on the memorial. It would be rude not to, right? Anyway, what did she die for? Why were we doing this? Like, I don't mean to be callous, but why? What was the mission for? I forgot it. There's been a lot of them.
Our people seem to work well together.
Oh yeah, this is super important. Yeah, we needed to hunt the Chosen. That was actually a mission worth dying for. It said promotion under her name, which is very rude.
You're starting to win over my people.
Got popular support, which does... Oh, who cares?
For some additional work if you've got any orders.
You're so BM game. She is most definitely not a corporal. This will be Hunt the Chosen Part 2. This is an infiltration mission, which means I can't really do it because I already have one team infiltrating. And we're at a point in the game where I sort of have to choose, am I going to infiltrate one thing or the other? I don't have enough gear to infiltrate 2 different missions and run assaults. So I'm already doing my infiltration mission. I can't quite get this one yet, which means infiltration missions start being really hard to justify if I have to choose like this. Anyways, let's continue making contact. Another covert op finishes immediately. This one's called Sabotage. We wrecked the Avatar project this drop. We've done so many base assaults. We've finished 2 of these, I think.
But if we give them time to rest, they'll be fine.
Keep on making contact. A new combat engineer has been retrained. I feel like I don't actually get too much use out of concussion grenades, and if I were playing with combat engineers next campaign, I'd probably try out concussion rocket over concussion grenades, just because it's another rocket. It does limited damage. I don't know if it does limited terrain damage, which matters a lot. But for now, I'm going to continue respecking them into the path that I've chosen. Down Gadget here until you get to Phosphorus, which is just so good you can't say no. Pure Mischief is a captain without electronic surveillance. Honestly, their time is valuable enough to me. They have 16 AP. I'll just spot them before to not have to retrain them. Rowdy Harlequin has electronic. Arrogant Plebeian has Roust. They're tired for 10 days. Perfect. They are probably pretty tired from watching their friend die just now, too. Oh, and I should have these people training. I'm going to see if either group is free if they're currently tired. I'll take Missile, Moth, and Blind Alpha. I just want somebody training their bond up. Even if they're ready, I've got enough ready soldiers I can afford to have them going, and they're the less valuable ready soldiers. 1,000 supplies, huh? Feeling good about our resources at the minute. Except for maybe Intel. But Intel might be kind of worthless if it's only for making contact and the black market's about to close, which is the fear. It's why I spent the Intel. Anyway, we continue making contact. Dark Horse is back. Love to see it. That's what I thought. We'll do a chain eventually to get them back, but because we only had 3 areas and there were 4 dark events, we rolled to see which one we were able to stop. We were unable to stop, gone to ground, unfortunately. So the black market, as much as I love it, is just gone. About a month from now, when a dark event would wear off normally without Grim Horizon, if you didn't have that second wave option installed, or enabled rather, If you didn't have that installed, when it falls off is when it becomes available as a covert op to get rid of it. Here's the issue. There's several other dark events that are active, and we randomly pick which one we're able to get rid of, so we might never see the black market again. We just didn't really get a say in that. So that's actually the downside to delaying events you don't plan to cancel. That's very good to know, is if you're doing the thing I do, where you sit on 3 bases for a very long time, and you delay but don't cancel, you'll have 4 dark events next month, and you won't actually be able to see them all. Very good to know. Lesson learned for next campaign. I think we're well enough off that it won't really slow us down any, but it definitely does suck. It's why I sold things off. It's why I spent intel. I was really hoping it would just go to next month and I'd be able to do something about it, but that was not the way it played out. We got Arctic rounds, and this is why I'm not interested in doing experimental ammo as a higher priority. It's because I get stuff like this. They're neat, but they're absolutely not optimal. I could send Iron Rhino to do this. Get the Shadow Chamber faster, get 4 more aim. The issue is I don't need this at all. Yeah, I'm not concerned about getting 4 aim at the cost that would take. Oh yeah, here's the Assault, just not the one I wanted, huh? 99 intel, that's it? I agree that Operation Pointless Druid is largely pointless, but it's very likely that we can go here, skip ahead, even though it's more expensive to here if we have a little bit more intel, and we can get even more intel by successfully stabbing someone with a Skulljack on the mission. So, fine, let's go stab someone with the Skulljack. Draugr's back, you would love to see it. If we come over to Marines, our highest ranked Marine is Minuscule Magpie at Captain, and then there's a pile of lieutenants behind them, and Dark Horse has gotten into that pile. They are steadily catching up. So you came to ready despite the fact that you weren't fully healed. So if you're healing from a wound, you keep track of where your will is, whereas if you recover from a shaken, you just go to full will. Good to know. Slowly learning how these mechanics work, so I get exposed to them longer and longer times. Anyway, of course, both sparks are coming. I don't know when or how exactly it's happened in these last 20 missions or so, but coming down to Tech Specialist, we have Small Potatoes at Lieutenant, Supernova at Waiting to Die during a covert operation. Then we have Dead Titan, Blind Alpha, Revolver Ocelot, all at Lieutenant. Pegasus is still trash, but less trash than Supernova to be sure. But somewhere along the way, Revolver Ocelot caught up. I mean, he's notably far behind. These two are both pretty close to reaching the next rank, but I was not expecting you to ever reach this rank at all. Because now I don't feel bad about putting you on the mission. You're legitimately the best choice, which surprised the shit out of me. There we go. There's the person I want. It's a field support. Finally figured out who the last part of this relatively long-range team is. Oh, both my Reapers are out right now. I really don't want to build more Reaper armor, so I'm not going to, which scares me. Also, he gets a normal pistol, because I'm not putting one of those either. Yeah. So I hate being this close to tier 3 and doing this, but I'm going to build the plated Reaper armor, and I'm also going to build, what's it called, the Cal 15 Bullpup. I cannot just, like, come in here with ballistics. That's crazy. The pistol can get passed on. We don't really need the pistol. But we're going to go ahead and get the Cal 15 weapon, get the plated armor. 9 is a substantially safer number than 7. The enemies just hit for 7 pretty regularly these days. Man, if it weren't for the awful clipping, I'd almost love that. Also, interestingly, he's equipped to Cyan, despite not actually being able to use magic yet. Kind of embarrassing. Getting a little bit ahead of yourself there, buddy. And I think this is the outfit for Operation Pointless Druid. We have Iron Rhino and Dark Horse here, alongside our A-Team hero pair of Depressed Draugr and Regal Dawn. Revolver Ocelot's the tech spec on duty, and as it's a long-range team, generally speaking, it felt like Perfect Tragedy had a home here. Oh, we should probably give them PCSs, though. That tends to be a good decision. As I don't have enough aim to go around, I'll be taking the bad aim module over here. And honestly, it's so little value that I'm gonna take mobility instead. Plus more mobility will definitely be worth more to me, because I need the other aim PCSs more on the people who don't have unreasonable amounts of aim already. Because we take a look at this, we're looking at 108 here, 109 there, 97 here, still 100 without even equipping an aim PCS. Rhino is just a little bit gross. Anyway, these last two will be picking up the other superior speed PCSs. I say the other, there's actually one left. It's kind of disgusting. And now with that last bit out of the way, that should not be a medkit, much less a normal medkit. I think I'm content with this. AP on the 2 aim stacks. I have Draugr with the blue screen, or sorry, the black ice rounds. Battle scanners here. 3 battle mimics, 3 decoy beacons, mimic beacons. There we go, got there eventually. 3 mimic beacons across these two, thanks to the talent here. I'll go ahead and quickly check, because there's a lot of A-team on this mission if anybody should be buying stuff. I am definitely tempted to take Untouchable, at which point I may as well buy the other 3 just to be funny. I just genuinely think that in so many situations, Untouchable doesn't work. Let's not and save it for other characters. It's just silly how easy it is to spend AP with my version of skirmishers. We definitely don't need any AP here, although what's Hawkeye again? The additional vision is actually pretty nice. The weapon range isn't the biggest deal because you have aim penalties anyway. But the vision's kinda nuts for scouting purposes. I'm not gonna take it, but I like that a lot more than I thought I did. And yeah, I've already looked at all of this. There's nothing getting spent on. Why is your gun green? What tech specialist did this to the anti-material rifle? Some disgusting tech specialist got their hands on this anti-material rifle and painted it green. I cannot believe this. Anyways, that's all for now. I'll be back next time with Operation Pointless Druid to pick up some intel. Maybe 99, maybe 120, depends on how the tech spec does. But it looks like a pretty strong team. I'm a little bit worried for some reason. I think I'm just stressed because 6 out of 10 members of the A-team are on the mission, so if things go bad, it has campaign ramifications. But mostly I'm just waiting to see how my psyops do, what are their first abilities? Are they having stasis? How exactly does all this work? I can't wait till someone equips a Psi underly and it actually does something instead of making me sad they haven't been trained. But I'm going off on a tangent, let's wrap this up. I'd rather Coherent, having a blast next time too, and I hope you have as well. Thanks for watching and have a good day.